the Conchurch in Santa Cruz, and September 6th, our final stop will be at the Greater Portmore Library. Remember, life certificates can be submitted at the parish libraries in Portland, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, and Manchester, the Ministry of Finance, as well as the AGD office at 21 Dominica Drive using the Dropbox.
And now an electoral tip. Voters without ID cards can still vote. Are you on the voters list but don't have your new voter's ID card? The Electoral Office of Jamaica says you can still vote on Election Day. However, casting your ballot may take some time as the EOJ will require you to fill out a form and take an oath to verify your identity. So if you want to be in and out of the voting booth without the hassle, stop by your constituency office and collect your new voter's ID card as soon as possible. Approximately 120,000 voter ID cards were in its offices waiting to be collected, so yours might be among the batch. And that's it for today's program. Join us next time when we'll highlight happenings roundabout JA. Until then, I'm Vaughn Davis with studio engineer Joel Samuels. Walk good.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica's poverty rate has dropped from 16.7% to 8.2%. As the government's economic program begins to pay off, our country is heading towards sustained growth. We are building Jamaica. The time by the office of the Prime Minister is
3 minutes after 9.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
The Jamaica Labour Party is doing more for your safety. Over the past 9 years, we've delivered the lowest murder rate in 30 years. We've strengthened our police force, and we've delivered landmark programs like the first government-run domestic violence shelters. The JLP is doing more for you, and we're not done yet. Proven results means peace of mind. Choose a safer Jamaica. Put your X beside the bell.
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
You're inside the Consumer Hour.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome to the Consumer Hour. I'm Tona Thomas and I'm sitting in for Norgay Banton, NGB, who will be back in studio with you tomorrow. Good morning to you wherever in the world you are. Good morning to our YouTubers, all of you joining in the YouTube chat here on our channel, Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Hello to my friend Rick NYCJM out first this morning, it seems. Good morning to you, Rick. Hello as well to Shine Atkinson. I'm seeing as well David Nebar, Merlene Russell. Good morning as well to you, Monique Hunter. Good morning, Sonia Hutton, Errol Townsend, Chris Daly, Nadine Bell, Inez I. Campbell Murray. Good morning to you, Inez. Good morning as well to Melissa Williams. Hey to you, Mel. Good morning, Grand Rising. Good morning, good morning. Who else am I seeing out early in the chat? I'm seeing my friend Herman. Good morning, Herman. Hello as well to you, Albert Morgan, Shamar Thompson, C. Houghton. All of you joining in the chat, good morning. I look forward to your engagement over the next 55 minutes of Consumer Hour this morning. Hello to you, my friends out there in Radio Land as well, joining us on the FM band at 90.3.5.7.9. Good morning. And good morning to you if you're joining us on the Nationwide app, or if you're listening from the website. You know Nationwide how we do it here. We provide several platforms that you can listen to our programs. So whichever of them you're on this morning, good morning to all of you. Happy Monday again. It is Monday, August 25, 2025. Hope that I find you well. So today on the Consumer Hour, it's Immigration Mondays, where we take your questions and concerns about visiting or immigrating to the U.S. or Canada. As usual, here on Immigration Mondays, being joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. Ladies, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tana. Good morning, Nadine. Good morning to wonderful and loyal listeners and viewers. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, Opal. Nadine?
Good morning, Miss Tona. Good morning, Miss Opal. And yes, happy Monday to everyone.
Happy Monday to you as well, Nadine. Both of you ladies, welcome again. And as we do how we start, any updates on immigration policies from the United States as well as Canada, Opal?
All right. So there's not much of an update, but I thought it prudent to remind our listeners of something, that one of the worst things that you can do is impersonate or pretend to be a U.S. citizen. There's no forgiveness for that after September 30th of 1996. So no, you're not supposed to be using any fraud or false documents. But if you're ever going to use one, please don't let it be a U.S. citizenship person. So basically, there's forgiveness when you use like a visiting visa, or even somebody else's name on a visa, a green card, but not for a U.S. citizen. Do not use any fraud documents, U.S. passports. Do not register to vote in the United States. Somebody said to me that, they didn't know that. They thought as a permanent resident, you're eligible to vote. I know it's election time coming up in Jamaica, so let me remind you that in the United States, only U.S. citizens are eligible to vote. So don't think because you get a green card and you're not permanent resident in the United States, you're not eligible to vote. So don't make the mistake. There's a common practice when you go to the driver's license. Like recently I had to renew my driver's license, and they were almost automatically going to check that box, to register people to vote. So you have to be prudent, and that's why I'm taking the opportunity to remind people. They will make the mistake. They will just think, because you get a driver's license, that you're automatically a U.S. citizen. People make that mistake, but it's up to you. And that's why I'm giving you this information. You should know, and you can't say you didn't know, because I'm telling you right here nationwide, if you're a permanent resident, you're not eligible to vote. Only U.S. citizens. So don't do that. Don't mistakenly check the box, or if you see them checking the box when you're registering for a driver's license, please tell them to uncheck it. And if you're accidentally registered to vote, you can go down to the registrar office in the United States and tell them to deselect you, tell them to unregister you. If you use that as that you might be able to get off later on if they found out that you were actually registered to as a United States citizen, but you really and truly did not make a conscientious effort to do that, and you did immediately tell them to deselect it. So I think that's my tidbit for today.
And for you, Nadine?
Thanks, Opal and Tona. No updates for Canada as well, Tona, but there are a few things that I'd like to touch on. One question that we're asked very frequently is, how do I get a job in Canada as a foreign worker? Now, one of them is, if you do have a spouse or partner in Canada who is studying, then you may also qualify for an open work permit. That is the spouse of the partner. Normally, the dependent children can come to Canada and go to school based on the parents' study permit. Now, if you're not able to afford for your spouse to come to Canada and study, then the other route would be you would have to find an employer who is able to show that they had difficulty finding Canadian workers. And this is where, Tana, an applicant may have to look at more remote areas to find a job. Because in some of the bigger cities, of course, they definitely have to show that their job is so specialized. That is why they need to offer it to a foreign worker. So that's two ways in which you can get a work permit if you are not a Canadian resident or citizen. Now, in terms of applying for permanent residency, again, if you don't have a spouse to sponsor you, or you are not a child who is 22 years of age or under and has a parent in Canada, then it means you would need to look at sponsoring yourself. Under Canadian immigration rules, we have the federal programs, which means that you can live anywhere in Canada, and you also have the provincial programs. In Jamaica, we have parishes. In Canada, it's provinces. So for the provincial nominee programs, it means that you are applying to live in a particular province, whether it is Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, all the way to the East Coast. You need to look at the different provinces and see, okay, do I want to live in this particular place? Do I have maybe family members or friends there? So these are things to consider when you're looking at the provincial nominee programs, because for the federal program, right now, the express entry system is the way that most persons would look at sponsoring themselves. So Tana, you would need to go online, create a profile, which means entering your information, and you would also need to do the English test and the education assessment. However, before you create a profile, I strongly recommend that you have a consultation done, because you don't want to go and pay, I think it's probably over $300 US for the English test, and maybe about another 300 odd Canadian for the education assessment if your score is going to be very low. The express entry system, Tana, real quickly, is where persons submit their profile. Once you're in the pool, then it is the immigration minister who decides how often he's going to have a draw from the pool of applicants, what category he's selecting, and what score he will be using. And for the past year, the score has been very high, over 500 for the express entry system. Again, if you need more information, please contact our office. Thanks, Tana.
Thank you so much, Opal and Nadine. And to there seems about 5 questions I'm seeing so far. Those YouTubers, don't worry. We're going to get to those questions after the break. But before we go to the break, ladies, if you could give out your contact details. Opal, have we lost Opal? Nadine, still there?
Yes, Tona, thank you. For Nadine Mahabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Over to you, Ms. Opal.
Thank you. For Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at FlowJam Legal. Over to you, Tana.
Thanks so much, ladies. So it's Immigration Mondays here on the Consumer Hour. I'm filling in for Norgay Banton. I'm Tana Thomas. We're going to take a break and come back with more.
If a hurricane mash up your house tomorrow, would your insurance fully cover it? Many Jamaicans are underinsured and don't even know it. One hurricane, and they could be paying millions out of pocket. BCIC's free property valuation tool is here to help everyone update their home's rebuilding cost. Plus, when you update your sum insured with BCIC, you'll get $5 million in free contents insurance and up to 12 months to pay. Visit bciconline.com.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
We create more jobs for Jamaicans, build road and better education. We make communities safer, ring the bell and vote for Labour. There is no party next to we, the greatest team in history. Jamaica Labour Party marching on to victory. We do so much already, now we doing more.
The preceding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Welcome back to the Consumer Hour. It's Immigration Mondays. On the line, U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. We're taking your calls as well as your questions in our YouTube chat. So the numbers or studio lines 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and our digital line 618-8255. So the first question of the morning says, good morning, I'm in the F4 category. Priority date March 2010. The person told me that they're going to stop the filing. What are my options? This seems like it's for you, Opal.
Absolutely. The F4 category means it's a sister and brother filing. I don't know what's going on with that family, or about stopping the filing. I mean, if the person is no longer willing to file the affidavit of support, which is the I-864, you can't force somebody, Tana, to your sister or brother to do the I-864. So that person might have some big problem.
Mm-hmm. So is it advised that the person reaches out to
sort you out? It's best to.
Right. I was asking if you would advise that the person reach out to you privately.
Can contact us for a consultation. I would say that. Because right now they need to either do that or maybe reach out to their family and see if they could amend whatever is going on in that family to maybe convince that sister or brother to continue the filing.
Yes. Patronum Dermot here is asking, is the backlog at the United States Embassy cleared as yet?
Right. We're not seeing so much of a backlog, but it's waiting for the visa number to become available. Like for the F4 category, the one question that you just asked me about, Tana, right now they're only giving out visas for people who filed on or before January 2008. So I noticed you had said that other person was 2010.
Yes.
So it's 2 years before a visa number is even available. So they can't even do anything right now until maybe around 2 years or so. So they have time to keep working on that family. But for this person, no, there's not really a backlog per se at the U.S. Embassy anymore. You just have to wait for a visa number to become available before you get an interview scheduled.
And we have a caller. Baga, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. I have three quick questions for Opal Lee, please. Morning to you all.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Can you explain what does it mean, request for evidence of affidavit of support? That's number one. Number two is if an LPR resides in one state and is working in another state, do they have to report that address to USCIS? And the third question, what if an LPR is using a learner's permit, driving permit, from one state to practice on this in another state on the road? Is that permissible?
Well, let me ask you the last one. So you're saying, but the person's a green card holder using a learner's permit? That depends on the state of the law for that state. I mean, how long learner's permits are okay, but remember, each state you have to sometimes have a driver, I believe, a licensed driver in the vehicle with you. So you have to check. So that's what I'm saying. Whatever, as long as you're doing what the state law requires, then it is fine. So please check with the individual states that you're in and check with the driver's license rules. That's for that one. I can't help you with that. That question. It's not an immigration question per se. It's more state specific. And you also.
Yes, you're coming in and out. Yeah, but what I was.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Right. What was the first question you were saying?
Right. Request for evidence of affidavit of support. If you could explain.
Okay.
that.
Request for evidence. Okay, I'll tell you right now. It's exactly what it is. It's a request for evidence. They want more evidence. Something that you're not doing right. You mentioned affidavit of support. So, for example, the petitioner who's filing for the beneficiary, maybe the income was insufficient. It could be that. And if the income is insufficient, then they need to provide, maybe get a joint sponsor or maybe it was that they missed out and they never provided their most recent W-2, which is that you file with the tax return, or maybe they never filed their tax return, or maybe they never provided a copy of the tax return, or maybe pay stubs or job letter was missing. So you have to read it carefully. When you see that request for further evidence, read it and you'll see whatever item is missing. And please, if you don't understand what they're asking for in that letter, consult with an immigration attorney like myself. I've seen so many people mess up this request for further evidence. For example, they ask for tax return or they ask for accounting tax transcript, and they give them the regular federal tax return, and the application is denied, and they either have to file a motion to reopen or to refile, which is just going to cost you money.
Right. So the other question was for an LPR residing in one state and is working in another. Do they have to report that address where they are?
Whenever you change your address, whenever you move, it's required by you to change. So if you have not moved, it's not a required. But if you are now living somewhere else, then there is a requirement to keep your address updated with USCIS as long as you are a green card holder.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Bago. Next, Anne-Marie, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Go ahead with your question.
I want to ask Opally a question.
Go ahead.
Opally, my other daughter in the U.S., Rhode Island, so she's going to the army, but she said she don't want to look after her child. So she said she don't know how if my daughter could come take care of her child.
Okay, so she's going. Good morning. So she's in the army?
Yes.
And so who she wants? She wants to look somewhere to look after who?
She wants my daughter come live up there with her 2 kids and come take care of her child. So she said she don't know any program that she can come up and come live up there and take care of her child.
No. So what your daughter needs to do, how old is the child that she has here?
16 and 10.
15? That's like, or 1-6, like an adult, like an adolescent? 1-6?
Yes. And the next one.
No. That doesn't sound right to me. She don't. First of all, 16-year-old, but I don't know. I'm not going to really get into the family dynamics. But to ask your other sibling to come from Jamaica on a visiting visa, there's no program, by the way, for that, where you could come up and babysit your nieces or nephews. And so there's programs here in the States where she could apply, get a babysitter. So if she needs a babysitter, your daughter needs to spend the money like everybody else who's a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, and go for, for childcare, for different childcare. Please, I'm begging you, do not let your other daughter come here and work on a visiting visa. A lot of people are tempted to do that.
No, man, that's a call of the action. No, that's a action. If there's anything.
No, she can't. No, there's no babysitting visa or anything like that for a family member to a family member, no.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Anne-Marie.
You're very welcome.
Neville, good morning. We lost Neville.
I'd like to speak to the Canadian consultant.
Nadine. Go ahead, Neville.
Nadine.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Nadine. My daughter had applied for Canadian citizenship over a year now. She did all the necessary tests. She did. She paid the necessary amount of money, and still awaiting.
Did she pass the test? Did she pass the citizenship test?
Yes, she did. And what is her concern is that since she made the application and she passed all the tests, everything was okay, and now she's telling me that since that 3 of her friends had done the same test, same rigmarole, and got through, and so she's wondering what's with her.
I wouldn't say it's a rigmarole, sir. I'd say it's a process. But in response to your question, if she's done the test and it's been over a month or two, she has not received any emails, because that's the other thing. She needs to check her email for correspondence from Immigration Canada. Then I would recommend that she contacts Immigration Canada. She may either call the toll-free number, or she can submit an online inquiry via the IRCC web form.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she has done all of that. Up to one day last week, she called them, and they said that they're still working on it. So
she did receive a response. I'm not sure why hers is taking longer. But if she did receive a response from Immigration Canada, if she needs further assistance, she would have to contact our office. But it sounds to me like if you're saying she's contacted them, she's got a response that they're still working on it, then she would probably just need to wait.
I mean, it's over a year now, and
it's not that long, sir. With all due respect, it's not all that long. I mean, some applications take longer than others for whatever reason. And if she's received correspondence from Immigration Canada and they've told her that they're still working on her application, a week is not a long time for them to get back to her.
Long time.
A week, sir, is not a long time. Sorry.
Oh, what's that? Sorry?
You said she spoke with them last week and they told her they're working on her application, correct?
Yes, correct. That's correct.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, a week is not a long time to get a response. I would say give them another couple of weeks. If she does not hear anything, then she can contact them again.
So I just interject here. Last week is just one of many calls that she had made. Or
if she needs assistance, she can contact our officer, because I'm not sure what the issue is.
I am not sure either, and she's not sure either, and she's wondering why some people that she knows, 3 of them in particular, have done the tests and everything like her, and have gotten through. So
I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. She would definitely need to contact our office if she needs further assistance.
Okay. Well, I'll just know for the contact numbers again.
Yes, Neville. Yes, the contact numbers are coming up now.
Okay, and not to worry, sir. Not to worry. I'm sure we can help, or she can get it sorted out. Not to worry.
Okay.
We'll do our best to assist.
All right, Neville. So listen out for the contact details. Go ahead, Nadine, and then Opal. Contact details before we go to the break.
Thanks, Tana. For Nadine Mahabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Over to you, Ms. Opal.
Right, for Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Flojam Legal, FLOJAMLEGAL. Over to you, Tana.
Thank you so much, ladies. This is Immigration Mondays here on the Consumer Hour. Going to take a break and come back with more.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:31.
Outperform, outlast, with top performance, Jack comma. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, free parts and free repairs. Free parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61124. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Transforming care across the nation. The Jamaica Labour Party is doing more for your health. We have expanded NHF benefits and filled over 3 million prescriptions. Free checks and new subsidies for tests. We are making care more accessible. Plus, 138 health centers repaired and major hospitals under construction. Choose a healthier Jamaica. Put your X beside the bell.
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Welcome back to the Consumer Hour. It's Immigration Mondays. On the line, U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. They're sitting waiting for your calls to make your inquiries. We're going to go back to the YouTube chat in the meantime. And I'm seeing Jags here saying, Opal, my family member just received her green card last week in the U.S. and is planning to travel in September. Is that safe or it's too early?
Nope, it's not too early. It's absolutely safe. As long as you're a lawful permanent resident, you may feel free to travel. Just make sure you have your original green card with you. And also be mindful, do not spend too much time outside the United States. And no matter what you do not ever let 6 months capture you outside the United States as a lawful permanent resident, as that might affect your application, your later application for citizenship.
Here's another one. Sten B saying, good morning. As a retired person, and I spent 3 months in the USA on a visitor's visa, will that affect my renewal?
Right. So I'm not usually a fan of people spending, especially because on your application, when you're renewing, you have to list the last 5 trips. And I don't like when my clients, the last 5 trips, have any 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, because those are the ones who tend to not get renewed. However, you're saying that you're retired, and if it's just one instance of 3 months, no guarantee, but you can explain yourself why it is that you're retired and you just had the free time. But it's really and truly up to the U.S. Embassy to see whether or not to grant it. I think they will grant it if it's just a one-time event, and you're now retired, because every situation is different, right? So,
yes. Sheldon Ellis here, Nadine is asking, if someone overstays in Canada, can they still migrate to Canada via spouse filing?
Good morning. Yes, they can, Tona. Again, if they need assistance with their application, because depending on the reason, if it's just an overstay, were they removed from Canada, did they pay their expenses, or did they leave on their own? So there's certain things to look at to see whether or not they also need to do an authorization to return to Canada. And Tana, with respect to the previous caller regarding the citizenship application, if a person's listening that are doing their citizenship test, it's very, very important that you follow the instructions that you receive from Immigration Canada. Because, Tana, the citizenship test is actually done remotely. So they are relying on persons to be honest when they're doing the test. Meaning you're not supposed to have anyone else in the room with you, no other devices open, or so on. So if Immigration Canada suspects that you might have violated any of these terms and conditions, then yes, your processing may take a little bit longer. I'm not saying that was the case with the previous caller. And again, correspondence is done by emails, so make sure that you're checking both your inbox and your spam folder. And again, if Immigration had reached out to her, I'm sure they would have told her that they would have sent her an email. But again, for persons listening who are going to be doing your citizenship test, please pay attention to all the details in that letter you received from Immigration Canada regarding the date of your citizenship test. Thanks, Tana.
And Lloyd Williams here, this one is for you, Opal. Lloyd says, my niece, who is a green card holder, filed for her 4-year-old son last year. How far are they now for her to know if the filing is approved?
All right, so for green card holders filing for minor children, they're currently at September 1st, 2022. So maybe another 2 or so years before they'll get to the 2024 cases.
Here's another one. Johanna Howell says, my brother started filing for his daughter, but unfortunately he passed before it was done. What steps can that family take to continue with the filing?
Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that. If the I-130 that the brother filed was already approved, then they could ask for a family member to step in place for that deceased brother, such as maybe another sibling, maybe a brother or sister, or maybe the child's mother, or maybe a grandparent. So maybe that person needs to do a consultation.
Okay, so listen out for those numbers a little later on to the YouTuber Joanna Howell, who asked that question. Whoopi Pandas is asking, let's see if you can figure this one out, Opal. Good morning. If I'm waiting for a visa to become available, but I'm already in the U.S., what are my options?
Oh, it depends on that. That's not good, because it depends on what they're doing in what they're doing in the U.S. For example, are they unlawful? If they're unlawful, they will not be able to adjust in the United States, depending on who's filing for them. If it's the minor child, then fine. But the thing is that from their saying that they're waiting for a visa number to become available, that's giving me a red flag right there. Maybe a sister or brother filed for that person, or maybe they're an adult and it's their mom or dad who has filed for them. In that case, they will never be able to adjust their status if they have any unlawful presence or has otherwise violated the terms or condition of the visa that they used to enter. So that person will definitely need to do
a consultation for sure. So listen out for those contact details to Whoopi Pandas, who asked this question. Gracefully Broken is also asking here on YouTube, good morning, Opal. A J1 worker visa expires September 1. Given the current climate, can a worker return September 4, usually within the grace period?
They can, but I don't understand why people do this, Tom. I mean, right now we're in August. Your visa expires September 1. What is the reason for them just to hang on for 2 more days or 3 more days? Mm-hmm. They really need to. I mean, it's still, even with the current climate, if you have a grace period, yes, you can leave within there. But as a J1 visa holder, especially if it is that you're subject to that 2-year residency, the sooner you come home, the better it is for you. I would not want to spend an extra. What's that extra 1 day or 2 days going to do? I would say prefer you just get out as soon as you can.
Yes. Alric Rose, good morning, Opal. I have a U.S. visa. It will expire next April. Can I travel on it now?
Oh, absolutely. I always encourage people to use that visa all the way until the end, because you might go ahead and renew it now and there's no guarantee it will even be approved. So let's say you want to go up maybe for Thanksgiving, that's coming up in November. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Just have to let them know, though, as I think they already know, that when you're entering the United States, if you had 10 years left on that visa, it is still up to the Customs and Border Patrol whether or not to let you into the country. So whether you have 3 months or 5 months left on it or 5 years, they still don't have to let you in. Just make sure that when you present yourself at the port, you explain to them the reason you're going, and if they're okay with that, then of course they will just let you in.
Right. Miss P. Brown here, Opal. When doing a change of status for a parent, do you pay all fees up front or in part at the request for other documents?
Right. So change of status, for the adjustment of status, you do everything together at the same time. The immigrant petition, the adjustment of status, every single thing you pay for at the same time in the United States.
Just Gut here on YouTube. I have a 1-year-old and I have a child who's 1 year and 9 months, and I have a H-2B workers permit, this seems to be saying, but my job is about to sponsor me a green card starting this September. Would I need to leave Jamaica at the end of the stipulated period?
I'm not sure what they mean by leave Jamaica. I mean, if you're when your visa comes through and you're ready to leave to go to, if it comes through, because you said that the employer is about to, so they're not even sure yet if it's filed or about to file. Is that what they're saying? The employer is about to file for them?
About to sponsor me a green card.
Okay. All right. So if they get the green card, then they will need to leave within the required time that the embassy, because normally the embassy gives you a certain time within which to leave or to migrate.
Right.
So you have to leave within that time.
But I'm wondering here, Opal, how this would factor with this person's child, because the person did say, I have a child, 1 year and 9 months.
Correct. So they could actually, the employer, there is a way that the child could be added as well, or they could get a visa for that child. So the child could be added. So they need to be informing the employer about their child as well.
So that's your answer. Just got here on the YouTube chat. Kaden Butler is asking, I just got my U.S. visa, June 2025. I plan to travel on it next month. On the application form, I said I was going to spend 2 weeks, but I want to spend a month. Is that a problem?
Yes, it is a problem. I mean, most people are going to say, no, it's not a problem. They do this all the time. But given what they're saying now, I've seen a lot of times when on the application they said they were going to for 2 weeks, especially the first trip, Tana. The first trip, you just get that visa. You told them you were going for 2 weeks. Why all of a sudden now, within less than a couple weeks or less than a month, now you're going for double that time? I would very caution them not to do that. I mean, is it legal? Yes, it's legal. But given everything that's going on, do you want them to think that you misrepresented or that you lied? So, I mean, it's a visa that maybe has multiple entries. Why don't you do what you're saying, what you just told them you're going to be doing? And then maybe on another trip, right? You do something else.
Here's another, the Passport Life here in the YouTube chat. If someone divorced their spouse and marries someone else, can they get the green card in New York City?
I have a lot of questions for that one, Tano. Lots. Divorce your spouse and marry somebody else. So who's fighting for who? And not only that, did they get the green card? I have a lot of questions. I mean, I could answer this 10 different ways. So you can always, if you marry somebody, you can divorce, of course, and you move on to somebody else. But are they getting a green card from somebody else, or what's going on? Or did they file for the other person to get them a green card? And the next person are they going to be dating, are they going to be trying to get that person a green card? Because if they're going to be marrying, if they got a green card from one spouse and then they think they're going to divorce that person and go marry somebody else within the 5 years and give that person a green card, that will not work. That's going to be a red flag. And they will think that the first marriage was fraud done just to circumvent the immigration law. So that person may need to do a consultation. I have lots of questions to answer.
And in that regard, we ask for your contact details, Opal, and then to Nadine.
Thank you, Tana. So for Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And it's at FlowJam Legal, FLOJAMLE. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. For Nadine Mehabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885, and our email address is info@cdn intl.com. Thanks, Tana. Over to you.
Thank you, ladies. This is Immigration Mondays here on the Consumer Hour. We're going to take a break and come back with more.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
So we say vote for Labour. To Jamaica. When we say vote for Labour.
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice. Elevate your knowledge in the world of healthcare and pharmaceuticals at the 40th Annual Pharmaceutical Conference. The innovative conference is back and better than ever under the theme Pharmacists Leading the Future for Sustainable Healthcare. Join Nationwide 90 FM from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with the Talk Up Youth and Design Studio on September 6th as we broadcast live from the Princess Grand Jamaica Hotel, Green Island, Negril. Catch the live stream on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Join us for the most anticipated pharmaceutical conference of the year, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica and Portmore Mall Pharmacy.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:49. Welcome back to the Consumer Hour. My name is Tona Thomas. I'm sitting in for Norgay Banton, who will be back tomorrow. On the line for Immigration Mondays, U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. Nadine, this one is for you from Mavali Dale, who's asking, can a Canadian citizen go to America to visit without any problems?
Tona, I'm going to say I think so, but I think this is the U.S. immigration question.
For you, Opal?
Yes, I don't see any problems with it. I know in the media they've been seeing the one-off where people are put in detention. And, you know, it's just what I just said just now. Whenever you present yourself to enter the United States, it's up to the CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. They will evaluate your situation at that time and make a determination on whether or not to let you in, whether you are on the visa waiver, whether you have a visa, whatever non-immigrant entry you have. I still think Canadians are safe to come in. So Nadine, you're welcome to come anytime.
Tana, Canadians have been boycotting the U.S. Hopefully you need to go work for U.S. tourism now.
Here's another one, ladies. Lloyd Bryan is asking, can I use my green card to go to Canada?
Can you use his green card? Yes. Yes, he can.
So that's your simple answer, Lloyd Bryan. Yes, you can use your green card to...
His green card and, of course, his passport. He needs both documents, of course, when he's traveling.
Mm-hmm. Scrolling on down to see if there are any other questions. Remember the numbers. We do still have some time on the clock. 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, and 630-9374. What would you say to this one, ladies? I see C. Hilton here just giving a general comment saying traveling is not fun anymore.
Very true. Very, very true. It's quite stressful. And most of the airlines now don't make it any easier. You have to make sure that your carry-on luggage and your check luggage, everything is the perfect size and the perfect weight. You can't even be half a pound over. So, yes, and coming into Canada, I'm a Canadian citizen. I don't normally have any issues. But persons need to bear in mind that when you're visiting, immigration or CBSA they do have the right to check your phones for correspondence. Mm-hmm. So be very careful what communication you have on your phone. You know, some people come up as visitors, they're planning to work. Please don't do that because you're only asking for more trouble. And sorry, I'll let Opal answer.
And I agree with them, Tono. No, because I was going to agree with what you just said, and also with that comment that, you know, people are on pins and needles coming off that airplane and knowing they have to go through customs, whether they're going to, most of the times we're going to the US, but I'm seeing it, you know, in other countries as well. But yes, it's not as fun as before.
And here's Patrick Palmer Nadine, who is asking, or is this for Opal? Let's see. Can a green card holder enter Canada without a Canadian visa?
Yes, Tona. Right now, as far as I'm aware, you don't need a U.S. visa, Canadian visa if you're a green card holder. I can double check if that has changed, but I know when I checked that a few weeks ago, they did not need a visa to enter Canada. Mm-hmm. So that is for green card holders and, of course, U.S. citizens. And Tona, sorry, I just want to go back a little bit to a previous question regarding the spousal application. I want to remind persons that are doing spousal applications that you need to show Immigration Canada that you have a genuine relationship. Not because you're married to someone doesn't mean that proves that you have a genuine relationship. That just shows that, yes, you went before a clergy or a religious person to have a ceremony done. Okay, spousal applications, you need to show your supporting documents as well. I realize we're out of time, Tona, so thank you.
Still have a few more minutes to go. We have a caller on the line. Michael, good morning.
Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Right.
Good morning.
Right. I was away for 4 months on my U.S. visa because my mom wasn't well last year. But my visa is going to be expired in April. How soon do you think I should go and renew?
All right, so you have all the way up until the time that it expires to renew. You can even renew like a month or two before it expires as well. And just make sure you make sure you renew it within the 12 months, you know, before or up to 12 months after it expires, so that you might, not get to do that in-person interview. Because if your visa has expired, come September 2nd, if your visa has expired for 12 months or more, you're definitely or more likely than not going to get an in-person interview. I don't like that 4-month thing of you staying in the country for 4 months, so be prepared. They're going to question about that. I know you said your mom was ill, but be prepared. I hope none of your, because remember, when you're on your visiting visa application, you're going to have to list your last 5 entries to the U.S. So I'm hoping those, you don't have any more long ones. Maybe if I were you, I would take another trip and do a 1 week or a weekend to kind of buffer or counter that 4 month that's on there.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Michael.
You're very welcome.
All right, let's squeeze in these last two as we wrap for you. Nadine, Stacey and Alexander is asking what is the cost for the Canada visa application? And to double, Melissa Williams, what if you want to move to Canada? What if you want to move to Canada if you're a permanent resident in the USA?
The cost for the Canadian visitors visa application, it's 100 Canadian and 85 Canadian for the biometrics. If you are in the US and you want to move to Canada, then you would have to see, do you qualify under the express entry system, or depending on the country you're born, if you're born in Jamaica, because there's an international experience category class where you can come up as a worker, or do you have a spouse here? Otherwise, I'm going to say, if you want to schedule a consultation, to look at the options.
All right. So, and in that regard, ladies, if you could give out your contact details one final time, Nadine, and then to you, Opal.
Thanks, Tana. For Nadine Mehabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Have a great week, everyone, and over to you, Miss Opal.
Thank you, Nadine. So for Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That is 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Our website where you may schedule a consultation is www.flowjamlegal.com. That's www.flowjamlegal.com. You may also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and the handle is @FlowJamLegal. Have a great week, everyone, and a productive one as well. Thank you as well, Tana.
Thank you, ladies, and wishing you all a great week as well. Thank you so much for coming on and engaging, answering all the questions as usual in this Immigration Mondays. So for those in the YouTube chat, or if you're out there in Radio Land and you didn't get an opportunity, remember, these ladies are on every Monday morning at 9:05 a.m. So that's about it for the show this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to my technical operator, Kevin, my super producer, Michelle McCrae-Smith. Thanks as well to you for engaging with us. Up next, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana Thomas, and this was the Consumer Hour. Good morning.
That was the Consumer Hour